sunrise. So they were not allowed out of their homes. So they could not have left their homes to go down to Ramesses by night because God commanded them to stay in their homes. But after sunrise, they were already packed up, they already had their hats on their head and their staff in their hand. So in the morning time from sunrise on the 14th of Abib, they began to leave their homes in the land of Goshen, up in the Nile Delta, and headed down to a city called Ramesses. And that took them pretty much all day. And then they began to form up into their 12 tribes, and as the old King James says, they went out in harness. They went out in order in their 12 tribes. So it took time for them all to get down there, get into their tribal formation in the 12 tribes, and then they began to leave. And of course, as the Bible says, they left, as we just read there, on the start of the 15th day, and we know from Deuteronomy 16:1 that they left by night, and the pillar of fire led them all through that night and into the early hours of the morning. And they travelled then, as we read in Numbers 33 verse 4, as they travelled, the Egyptians were beginning to bury their firstborn, which the Lord had smitten among them upon their gods. So in that late daytime period, they were seeing the Egyptians beginning to bury their dead on the late afternoon period of the 14th, and then going into the early evening period of the beginning of the 15th. Verse 5, and the children of Israel removed from Ramesses, and then they pitched in Succoth. Verse 6, and they departed from Succoth and pitched in Etham, which is in the edge of the wilderness. There's a wilderness called the Wilderness of Sin, and it goes down both the west coast of the Egyptian side of the Gulf of Aqaba, and it also, the Wilderness of Sin also goes down the other side, the Arabian side of the Gulf of Aqaba as well, that section of the Red Sea. That's important to understand because they left the Wilderness of Sin